Hi, class. Good afternoon. How is everything? I'm really happy to be here with you. It is great. It is great. Learn together. It is great to discover new things with you. So let's practice about prefixes. Do you remember? Last class, we talked about prefixes, and today we are going to practice. We are going to use all this new one learning here. So let's start. Let's see USA. And you have to click on Anna goes, Anna is USA Learns, but 1+. Then you have to click on the number 5. Finally, click on number 5.2. So we are going to use negative prefixes. This is the topic that we are learning right now. So let's see that explaining here. So
the prefix un. Some adjectives can be made negative with the prefix un. For example, uncomfortable, unbelievable, untidy, unhappy, untrue.
Listo. El día de ayer veíamos unhappy, untrue, para convertirlo en algo contrario. Lo contrario, por eso lo llaman como negativo, porque es lo contrario. También vimos la terminación im.
The prefix im. Some adjectives can be made negative with the prefix im. For example, imperfect, impossible, impatient.
In también nos ayuda para hacerlo negativo o contrario, o sea, contrario a la palabra que estamos planteando. Expensive, inexpensive.
The prefix in. Some adjectives can be made negative with the prefix in. For example, inexpensive, inactive. That looks impossible.
Impossible or not possible. Impossible. So help me. Which prefix you add?
This chair is uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Look at this.
That restaurant is very inexpensive.
Inexpensive. So let's see.
He's very unhappy today.
Unhappy. The opposite, that happy. So let's see.
We're not late. She's just impatient.
Impatient. Oh, sorry, impatient.
That story is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That looks impossible.
That looks impossible. Not. Great. What happened? It's impossible.
This chair is uncomfortable.
This chair is, help me, we are doing a listening exercise right now.
This chair is uncomfortable.
Let's see.
That restaurant is very inexpensive.
That restaurant is very, very inexpensive. Correct. O sea, the opposite is not expensive, it's cheap. Something like that.
He's very unhappy today.
Oh, he's very unhappy today. Oh my goodness. He's very unhappy today. But don't forget he's. So I'm gonna look for this word because I don't have this letter. He's very. Now I saw it that capital letter. Yeah. Good.
Don't be so impatient. Don't be so impatient.
Don't be so impatient. Don't be so impatient.
Don't be so impatient.
Correct. Impatient. Impaciente.
That story is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Increíble.
That story is unbelievable.
That story. That story is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That story is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I write it so bad. Reading. So we are learning new words about this topic. So let's see.
Misleading.
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 Giving the wrong idea. The salesman gave us misleading information about the car. He said it was a good deal, but it wasn't.
Shrink.
Shrink. To get smaller. If you wash that sweater in hot water, it will shrink.
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 Shrink. Shrink.
Shrink.
¿Cómo encoger?
Shoe polish.
Shoe polish. Something you put on shoes to make them shiny. Shoe polish.
Shoe polish.
Do you need black or brown shoe polish? Hair spray.
Hairspray.
A spray that keeps hair in place. If I use too much hairspray, my hair feels like plastic. Shaving cream.
Shaving cream.
A cream that makes it easier to shave. He uses a lot of shaving cream to protect his face. Dish soap.
Dish soap. Dish soap.
Soap, because soup is sopa. Soap.
Dish soap.
Dish soap. Soap for washing dishes. The dish soap smells like lemons.
Foamy.
Foamy. With a lot of small bubbles. Con muchas burbujitas pequeñas, bombitas pequeñas. She likes foamy coffee drinks. Foamy.
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 Foamy, como espumoso, como with a lot of small bubbles. Brand.
Brand.
A product made by a company. Brand, una marca. I don't know which brand of soda to buy. There are so many brands.
Brand.
Brand. Disguised.
Disguised.
Recuerda que estamos viendo aquí algunas palabras que son prefijos. Disguised. Made to look like something else. Disguised. That cell phone towel is disguised as a tree. If you don't understand the meaning, you could look for it in a translator. So let's write it. Disguised.
Disguised.
Disfrazado. Disguised. Disfrazado. Disguised. Disfrazado. So, disguised. Made to look like something else. That cell phone towel is disguised as a tree. Disguised. Post. A piece of writing of social media. She wrote a long post about her vacation.
Post.
Post. Okay, that's all. So let's read a story.
When Anna tells Pete that his ad is dishonest, he suggests that she shouldn't believe everything she sees in advertisements. In the United States, advertisers are usually careful to not tell lies because they don't want to get into trouble with the law. However, there are many ways that advertisers can be dishonest without actually lying.
Dishonest is a prefix. Lo que estamos viendo, un prefijo. Ana, you don't believe everything you see in ads. Do you? That question. Do you? Ok. En este caso, te están diciendo dishonest. Lo contrario de honesto. Dishonest. Tenemos aquí un prefijo. Look at this. Busca el prefijo acá. Vamos a ver cuál es.
One of the most common advertising tricks is misleading photography. For example, whenever you see an advertisement for a fast food hamburger, the burger looks big and juicy with fresh tomatoes and crisp lettuce. But when you order the burger, it probably looks nothing like that. One way that photographers make burgers look good on camera is by not cooking the meat very much so that it stays juicy and doesn't shrink. Then, they paint the meat with shoe polish to get the right color.
Okay, they are looking about hamburger. So we have prefixes. Tenemos algunos prefijos aquí. Por ejemplo, misleading. Tenemos otro, no, ese no. Espérame, ¿cuál vemos acá? Un prefijo. Yo vi uno ahorita, pero probablemente no. No sé cuál encontraste tú. Bueno, de igual forma nos están hablando de la comida. Vamos a continuar aprendiendo. Si vemos un prefijo, lo marcamos y hablamos sobre él. La idea es poderlo ver en diferentes contextos. Esta es la parte práctica que estamos viendo el día de hoy. Ver estos prefijos como vocabulario en diferentes contextos.
Photographers have a lot of other tricks for making food look good on camera. They spray fruit with hairspray to make it shiny. They use shaving cream instead of whipped cream in desserts because it keeps its shape. They put dish soap in milk to make it look nice and foamy. The food you see in advertisements may look good, but often it's impossible to eat.
It's just for a photo. That's all. Look at this.
Another dishonest advertising practice is the bait and switch. This is when an advertiser offers a great deal to get you into the store. But once you get there, they don't really have that item for that price. This is a common practice on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, when stores have big sales. They advertise extremely low prices, but they really only have a few of the very inexpensive items, which sell out very quickly.
Okay, inexpensive. Tenemos acá un prefijo. Tenemos dishonest. Tenemos otro prefijo. Y sí, es verdad, muchas veces en este Black Friday hacen actos deshonestos porque cuando las tiendas tienen grandes no sé, descuentos, ellos extremadamente bajos precios, pero ellos realmente solo tienen pocas existencias y ya después dicen, ah, no, out of stock. Entonces otra persona dice, ah, no, voy a comprar otro porque ya no está el de descuento. Aquí muchas veces lo que hacen es que es el precio igual, sino que hacen ver que lo están vendiendo más barato, ¿no? Another
type of bait and switch is when ads show the basic price along with an item that actually costs a lot more. For example, a hotel ad might say starting at with the lowest possible price for a room. But the room in the picture has a balcony overlooking the beach, which costs extra. When you go to reserve the low-priced room, it's small and dark and has a view of the parking lot.
is dishonest.
Perhaps the trickiest advertising of all is the hidden advertising all around us. Characters on TV wearing shoes with obvious brand names, ads on news sites that are disguised to look like articles, social media posts that look like they are from friends but are actually from companies. This is the kind of advertising we really need to watch out for. Most of us already know we shouldn't believe everything we see in an ad, but sometimes we don't even notice the advertising in the first place.
Okay, so we have disguised, disfrazado, disfrazado. Entonces mira lo que dicen. Ellos es que están disfrazados y lucen como artículos. Entonces, este es un tipo de aviso o publicidad que realmente necesitamos watch out for most of the ready notes. So we are talking about advertisement. Okay, so which sentence is true about this reading? When Anna tells Pete that his ad is dishonest, he suggests that she shouldn't believe everything she sees in advertisements. In the United States, advertisers are usually careful to not tell lies because they don't want to get into trouble with the law. However, there are many ways that advertisers can be dishonest without actually lying. So, which sentence is true? It is illegal to lie in advertisement. Advertisers are never dishonest about their products. Advertising in the United States is very honest. So, it is illegal to lie in advertising. False things that advertisers say about hamburger. So, one of the most common advertising tricks is misleading photograph. For example, whenever you see an advertisement for a fast food hamburger, the burger looks big and juicy with fresh tomatoes and crisp lettuce. But when you order the burger, it probably looks nothing like that. One way that photographers make burger look good on camera is by not cooking the meat very much, so that it stays juicy and doesn't shrink. They then paint the meat with shoe polish to get the right color. So, false thing that advertisers say about hamburger. What is the part of the text about? Why hamburgers at fast food restaurants aren't delicious? Tricks photographers use to make a hamburger looks good. I think it's the last one. So what kind of trick does this part of the text describe? Photographers have a lot of other tricks for making food look good on camera. They spray fruit with hairspray to make it shiny. They use shaving cream instead of whipped cream in dessert because it keeps its shape. They put dish soap in milk to make it look nice and foamy. And food you see in advertisements may look good, but often it isn't impossible to eat. Ways to use hair praising food photography. How food photographers use some common products. How photographers change photo on the computer. So I think it's the second one. Let's see. Another dishonest advertising practice is the bait and switch. This is when advertisers offer a great deal to get you into the store, but once you get there, they don't really have that item for that price. This is a common practice on Black Friday, that day after the Thanksgiving, when stores have big sales. They advertise extremely low prices, but they really only have a few of the very inexpensive items, which sell out very quickly. What happened with this kind of bait and switch? The store doesn't have very many of the low price items. The store lies about the price of the item. The store doesn't actually sell the inexpensive thing. So the store doesn't have very many of the low price items, just a little bit. Another type bait and switch is when ads show the basic price along with an item that actually costs a lot more. For example, a hotel ad might say starting at with the lowest possible price for a room, but the room in the picture has a balcony overlooking the beach, which costs extra. When you go to reserve the low price room, it's small and dark and has a view of the parking lot. What happened with this kind of bait and switch? The room in the photo is real, but isn't more expensive. The hotel doesn't really have the room in the photo. The hotel only has a few rooms at the low price. So, I don't know, maybe this one, the first one. Yes. Why does the right thing hidden advertising is tricky? Because they use brands names on TV. Because sometimes we don't notice it. Because articles look like social media posts. So perhaps the trickiest advertising of all is the hidden advertising all around us. Characters on TV drinking soda with previous brand names. Ads on news sites that are disguised to look like articles. Social media posts that looks like they are from friends but are actually from companies. This is the kind of advertising we really need to watch out for. Most of us already know we shouldn't believe everything we see in art, but sometimes we don't even notice the advertising in the first place. Why does the right thing hidden advertising is tricky? Because they use brand names on TV. Because sometimes we don't notice it. Because articles look like social media posts. So because sometimes we don't notice it. So it's a trick because sometimes we don't notice it. So let's see. Another dishonest advertising practice is the bait and switch. This is when an advertiser offers a great deal to get you into the store, but once you get there, they don't really have that item for that price. This is a common practice on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, when stores have big sales. So, writers often define or explain words in a text. Sometimes definitions.
Writers often define or explain words in a text. Sometimes definitions begin with a phrase. For example, this is when, which means, that is to say. Read the top passage on the left and notice the definition of bait and switch. Sometimes definitions are set off with commas or a dash. Read the bottom passage on the left and notice the definition of Black Friday.
Okay, which expression is defined in this text? Sometimes advertisers use the decoy effect. This is when they show a very expensive item to make you think you are getting a good deal. The truth is that they don't really expect anyone to buy the very expensive item. So, which expression is defined in this text? A good deal, advertiser, decoy effect. The decoy effect. So, what word is defined in this text? Sometimes advertisers tell you that it is going to be very difficult to get their product. For example, ticket vendors often said there are only a few tickets left. This idea that something is scarce or difficult to find makes you feel like you need to buy it right now, right away. So is scarce product or vendor. Scarce. So speaking. Look at this.
Can. Delivery. Dishonest.
Perfect.
Imperfect. Inexpensive. Order. Product. Spray. Tidy. Towel. Unbelievable. Uncomfortable. Untidy. Wrap.
Okay. Silent syllable. So this is a pronunciation speaking part. So let's come back here. We solved many activities here, but we could finish this unit. Learning goals, learn keywords, meaning. So let's finish with this kind of exercise.
Winter weather in Washington, D.C. can be really windy. and wind messes up my hair.
In this lesson, you will learn and practice key words, forming negative adjectives, pronouncing words with dropped syllables, making complaints.
Tidy.
Tidy.
Neat or organized. Please keep the room tidy. Comfortable, comfortable,
Comfortable. Comfortable.
comfortable. No es comfortable, comfortable.
Comfortable.
When something is comfortable, it makes you feel relaxed. The sofa was so comfortable that he fell asleep. Product.
Product.
A thing that is sold. This store sells thousands of different products. Spray.
Spray.
To apply liquid in a shower of tiny drops. Spray the cleaner on the counter and then wipe it off. Wrap.
Wrap.
To enclose something in soft material.
Wrap.
He wrapped the baby up in a blanket. Wrap up. So let's see. Wrap. So look at this. Wrap, wrap, wrap. An important one verb. Look at this. Towel,
Towel. Towel.
towel,
Towel.
towel,
Towel.
towel. A piece of cloth used for drying things. There are extra towels in the room. Towel. Order.
Order.
To buy online or over the phone. We order pizza for dinner. Delivery.
Delivery. Delivery.
Delivery.
Delivery.
The action of bringing something that was ordered. If you order enough items, delivery is free. El envío.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Wonderful. Amazing. Fabulous. Fabulous. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Wonderful or amazing. This is fabulous. Honest.
Honest.
To be honest is to tell the truth. Don't worry, you can trust what he says. He is very honest. So help me.
Just spray this on the counter.
Spray.
Your room is very tidy.
Tidy. My room is very tidy.
That looks comfortable.
Comfortable.
It was absolutely fabulous.
Fabulous.
What do you think of this product?
Product.
How do you charge for delivery?
Delivery.
Do you think he's honest?
Do you think it's honest? Looks like honest one person.
What did you order?
What did you order?
We have a lot of towels.
We had a lot of towels.
He likes to be wrapped in a blanket.
Wrapped. Okay, that's all.
It is really windy today. Oh, look at my hair. Will it be windy this weekend? I'll listen to the news.
How does Anna
I am tired.
her hair. Untidy. Untidy, desordenada. How does Pete describe hair be good?
Hey, is that Pete?
Hi, I'm Pete, and I have the perfect product for you.
Okay, so that's all. I invite you to solve all this unit on USA Learns because it's an interesting topic. We are learning about prefijos. Next class, we are going to talk about sufijos. La próxima clase vamos a hablar sobre los sufijos. Bye bye class, good job.